I didn't correct my coworkers when they assumed I was single. 3 months later, I found out exactly why my husband wanted it that way. It started on my first day at the marketing firm. During introductions, someone asked if I had a boyfriend. Before I could answer, my husband's best friend Jason, who got me the job, jumped in. She's focusing on her career right now. The table laughed and moved on. I thought it was weird, but Jason had been friends with my husband Caleb for 15 years. Maybe he was just being protective of our privacy. I let it slide, but then it kept happening. Every time someone asked about my personal life, Jason would steer the conversation away. When coworkers invited me to happy hour, he'd text Caleb to pick me up early. When the cute guy from accounting asked for my number, Jason told him I was talking to someone complicated. I mentioned it to Caleb that night. He just shrugged. Jason's looking out for you. Office relationships get messy. You should keep your personal life private. That made sense, I guess. Weeks turned into months. I noticed Jason watching me constantly, not in a creepy way, more like he was monitoring something, taking mental notes. He'd ask casual questions about my marriage. How's Caleb treating you? Everything good at home? You seem tired lately. I always said everything was fine, because it was. Caleb and I had been married for 2 years. We were happy. At least I thought we were. Then the company holiday party happened. I wore a green dress Caleb picked out, told him I'd be home by 10. He kissed me goodbye and said have fun. Normal husband stuff. At the party, I had 2 glasses of wine and was talking to some coworkers when Jason pulled me aside. His face was pale. You need to leave now. I asked why. He wouldn't answer. Just kept saying I needed to go home immediately. I called Caleb. No answer. Called again. Voicemail. My stomach started twisting. Jason drove me home himself. The whole ride he kept apologizing. I'm so sorry. I should have told you sooner. I thought he'd stop. I thought he'd change. I asked what he was talking about. He gripped the steering wheel tighter and said nothing. When we pulled into my driveway, there was an unfamiliar car parked outside. A red Honda I'd never seen before. Jason stopped me before I got out. Whatever you find in there, just know I tried to protect you. That's why I kept you invisible at work, so nobody would connect you to him when this came out. I walked inside my own house like a stranger. The living room was empty. Kitchen was dark, but I heard laughter coming from upstairs. Female laughter. I climbed the stairs slowly. Each step felt like walking through concrete. The bedroom door was cracked open, light spilling into the hallway. I pushed it open. Caleb was in our bed, with a woman I'd never seen. They both froze when they saw me standing there. The woman scrambled for her clothes. Caleb just stared at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Not guilt, not shame, annoyance, like I'd interrupted something important. How long? My voice didn't even sound like mine. Caleb sighed. Does it matter? The woman was crying now, apologizing, saying she didn't know he was married. Nobody at work mentioned a wife. She thought he was single. That's when everything clicked. She worked at his company. The reason Jason kept my existence hidden wasn't to protect my privacy. It was to protect Caleb's double life. Every time Jason steered conversations away from my marriage, every time he made sure no photos of us together circulated, every time he kept me invisible, he was helping Caleb cheat. Jason had been standing in the doorway this whole time. I turned to him. You knew? His eyes dropped to the floor. I found out 2 months ago. I tried to get him to stop. I threatened to tell you. He promised he'd end it tonight. That's why I brought you home early. Caleb's voice cut through. You had no right, Jason. This is my marriage. I laughed. It came out broken and hollow. Your marriage? I grabbed my keys and my purse, walked past all 3 of them without another word. I drove to my sister's house at 11 at night and told her everything. The divorce was finalized 4 months later. Caleb lost his job when I sent HR screenshots of him using company time to coordinate his affair. Jason lost his job too for helping cover it up. And me? I got a new position at a competing firm. First day, someone asked if I had a boyfriend. I smiled and said yes. He treats me like I actually exist.